Oh, hey Robbie, how you doing? You got a toothache. That sucks. Why don't you go to the dentist? You're afraid. Yeah, it's quite a pickle you got there. You got yourself into. You know what? I think I have just the thing. Let me help you out. Okay, so just stay very still. All right, all right. You won't have a toothache anymore. Welcome back to Bass, everyone. Today is going to be my episode 10 review of Power Rangers Beast Morphers. I would imagine it'd be relatively quick because not too much happened in this episode in terms of overall plot, and it was more of a filler episode, you could say. With the main story being Ravi having a toothache, it's very similar to something that we had in Dino Charge. So, nothing that we haven't seen before, and it was a little disappointing, I would say, considering, how great Power Rangers Beast Morphers has been so far, but I still think it was a relatively good episode, and it does plant some seeds for stuff that does happen in the future in the show, because I am caught up on this show up until, episode 18 so far, so I do know what's going to happen. They're planting little seeds in there. I'm not going to really give any big spoilers, but I will say, I guess this episode has some purpose to it other than to just show Robbie having a toothache, which, like I said, I wasn't a big fan of, but it was a good enough episode. And the little seeds that I'm talking about start at the very beginning of the episode, where Scrozzle has an idea that he's going to have Blaze or Roxy gather some information on the Rangers, aka they're going to send a Robotron out to fight the Rangers, and it's going to collect data on their beast powers. Scrozzle will then take that data and put together this sort of superpower upgrade for Blaze and Roxy. The whole idea is to make Blaze and Roxy more powerful because they haven't been, having too much success when it comes to fighting the Rangers, so Scrozzle is going to use that data that a Robotron or Blaze and Roxy collects to upgrade them. Meanwhile, the Rangers are at the Riptide Gym just training, messing around. We get some antics from Ben and Betty that I won't really get into, and this is where we do figure out that Robbie's tooth hurts. It's just nothing too big, but eventually there's a disturbance. Roxy's causing some trouble in the park, and this is to lure the Rangers out so she can collect that data. There's a fight. Robbie's tooth continues to hurt, and he complains about it. But eventually they are, fought off, and the Drilltron as well as Roxy just go straight underneath the ground. They use the Drilltron to dig underneath the city, and they don't really know why. The Rangers just think it's a quick getaway, but we'll get to that later. Ravi goes to the dentist. He's there for a couple of seconds, and then there's this quick little gag where behind a door somebody's fixing a shelf, but it looks like they're taking a drill and drilling into somebody's mouth, and it freaks out Ravi as well as Ben and Betty because they were there, and they run off. Turns out the reason Roxy and the Drilltron are underground is because they're going underneath the tower to drain Morphex from it. Ravi as well as Nate go down to the sewers to check it out. Nate actually overcomes his fear of spiders, and this actually will later on convince Ravi to go back to the dentist. But once they find Roxy and the Drilltron, of course, there's a fight. We also get this cool mix between Zord fight and ground fight with different Rangers going on. We've had that a lot in Beast Morphers, and I really enjoy it. So, there's another plus to the episode, even though I'd say the filler part with Ravi going to the dentist wasn't all that great. Of course, Ravi does go at the end, and everything is fine. Now, they did end up getting, or Roxy ended up getting the information just for Ravi. So they have the Gorilla's strength power in the data. Now, Scrozzle or somebody else just needs to get the rest of the data to finally form that upgrade. But yeah, overall, the episode was good. Not too big of a fan on the whole, Ravi going to the dentist thing. This thing kind of bothers me because Ravi's out there all the time, getting hurt, putting himself in danger. He's a ranger, ooh, spitting some bars there, some rhymes. Yeah, he's afraid to go to the dentist. I know it's a kids' show. That's a fine plot, I guess, but, I just always found that kind of weird. And even with the spider thing, although I will admit, I don't really like spiders either, however, it's an okay plot. We've seen this sort of thing before. As always, the action scenes are top-notch, especially that split ground fight and Zord fight. I love how they're doing that. Even though it's more of a Go Busters thing than a Beast Morphers thing, it definitely makes it more entertaining to watch. Because I'm not that big fan of Zord fights, to be honest. However, when you split it up between Zord fight and ground fight, I just think it adds a little spice to it. Would you say that? I'd say spice. Like I said earlier, the whole data gathering thing is going to play a part in future episodes. I'll just go ahead and say here, that's good. They planted that in this episode to go on to the next, and then the next, and build upon it. Now, you wouldn't know that if you haven't seen the foreseeable future of the other episodes. However, I have, so I will give them that. However, I think, regular viewers who don't know that might find this episode to be completely worthless, but it isn't. Overall, 7 out of 10 if I had to give it like a number rating. It was good enough. I liked it. It's probably my second least favorite episode. However, I have enjoyed all of the episodes. But that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you all did enjoy. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of today's episode of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, and I'll be back next week to review another episode. Have a good one.